first off, give us a bit of a housekeeping sort of update on injuries and stuff, where you're at after the weekend, anything new, anyone returning, so on and so forth.
Obviously, Gaz O'Brien has had a calf tear. It's a pretty big one, so he's going to be long term on his return back to playing. Mulhern may be in the picture to play for this week. Ollie Holmes may be in the picture to play this week. That players returning from training, and players like John Asiata, Tom Briscoe, and Edwin Apape all on field running now. So it's a good sign in that regards, but still a couple of weeks away for those guys.
When we say long term on Gareth O'Brien, is that weeks, months?
Yeah, probably 6 weeks plus. So it's not good, but another calf tear. So we've obviously had a few of those, so not good for us. But I think last week we played Matty Moreland at fullback, and I thought he did a pretty good job for us. So we've just got to keep powering on, as I've said with everything else that's been in our face at this part of the season. But luckily, I just mentioned those players are back on field running. It seems like ages ago that they were injured, but not too far away now. But and we're still reasonably early on in the season, so there's some hope there for us in the sense of getting some of our starting middles back on.
Have you been able to identify why there have been so many calves? Is it pure bad luck? Is it something a little bit more? I'm sure you've had those conversations.
Yeah, we've had those conversations over and over and over again. So, it's a difficult one because some of them are a little bit of bad luck, such as Edwin's injury. But there has been some. We had a change of S&C coach at the start of the year. At the start of pre-season, we no one was appointed for 4 weeks, so that was a big disruption for us. We missed out on a lot of that. Not ideal, but it is what it is. And but that doesn't guarantee that it's that. The science would say that players are playing, they've had plenty of time to get it right. So there's a little bit of something there that we're still trying to get to the bottom of, and forever asking questions within ourselves and myself as coach. So it's not ideal, but it is what it is, and we can't change that. Like I said, at least it's at this part of the season and not at the end, albeit we need some results go our way pretty soon, because the players that have been playing in those positions are players that are probably debuted prior to what they were going to and have played a lot of minutes, and so that should put us in good stead moving forward.
I know a lot of the talk's been the injuries, but just your actual record and results. Did you think it's an unfair reflection of how you've actually played this season? Where you are on the league.
Without a doubt. At times in the games, we've done some really, really good things. Like we had 40 minutes last week of pure class, and then probably 20 minutes in the second half where it was pretty good. But the other 20 minutes was a part where we've lost that consistency and been hurt through our defence. So we're always working hard on our defence, and the first quarter of the season's gone. We're in the second quarter now.
Recording in progress.
So that'll be our priority moving forward. But having said that, there are some games that we should have and could have won. And you've got to judge the players as well by their attitude and the way that they train on a weekly basis, and their spirits are high. We're a really tight-knit bunch of men. We care about each other, and we know that we've got to keep working hard. Those results will come, and I feel really confident that that's not too far away. And once we get that right, you'll see us go on to a roll. I'm confident that will happen. So we've just got to keep that belief there, keep supporting everybody, and push through these difficult times.
It must be a bit of a tricky one to sort of get a balanced stance on it, because, as you say, you're playing far better than results suggest you are, but you also don't. You can't afford to get too far behind the chase back, and you're playing catch-up throughout. So you're in that bit of a conundrum, aren't you, where you do need to start winning, but perform without that. Absolutely.
All of that's bang on the money because... but we're aware of that. We talk and discuss this all of the time, and like I said, it's okay. I think we're in the top 4 for attacking statistics right across the board there, but we're probably in the bottom for the defence. And as much as the new players have come in and done a reasonably good job for us it's the repetitions that you don't get and the defence that hurts you. You know, they can come in and attack really well, but you know, we're forever working hard on our D because that's the issue at the moment. So, like I said, we're not that far away. The new players, I think we've got 10 new players this year. All of those guys are working hard on fixing up those issues. But you'll see, you'll notice that change for us in the next couple of weeks, and I think with that will come the rewards that we deserve.
Let me ask you about recruitment, because there's been a few things this week.
Yeah.
David Armstrong's been a player that's been mentioned since the off season.
Yeah.
Is that any closer now? Is there some movement there finally, or is it still a, wait and see, work in progress type thing?
Yeah, it's a position that we've been looking at for a little while, and and Davey Armstrong has been of interest to me and Chesney and the group without a doubt. You know, he's someone that we would see fit in this environment really, really well, and the style of play that we play will suit him. So, we're always open to look at anyone coming off contract that's going to make us better, whether it's during season or off season. He is a player that we are interested in. It's not working out at the moment, but that's what happens. So we've just got to keep looking at making sure that we take care of our own backyard first and get this place right in here. And if things change and develop from that, we'll make notice of that and let everybody know. But for now, I think Matty did a really good job at fullback last week. Like I mentioned, he's played for Australia in that position. So Ben McNamara coming into that position has done a really good job for us on the right. But he's young and he's learning as well. So in really key positions around the field, we've got new faces and youth, but it's going to take time. So we are also looking to build a squad in any capacity at any point of the season.
And what about Ben Kubawai? Because his name's been mentioned a few times as a possible outgoing mid-season. It's come up again this week. Is there any progress on that? I think that Craig Lingard's just had his own press conference and said, it's not as simple as people think. There have maybe been conversations, but it's not as clear-cut as potentially people would like to think it is.
Yeah, I think it's come from just a little bit of interest through the media on that one. I don't know where it's come from outside of that, but Ben's been playing for us every single week, and with the numbers that we've had short, we've had to hold on to Ben and make sure Ben's available for us. So I don't know where that's come from, though. I think Ben probably needs to play some more minutes at some stage. So whether that means starting him here for us or putting him out on loan, that's a decision that we'll make as a club in the next couple of weeks when our other players come back. But at this point, that's not going to happen. Having said that, Ben is injured this week as well. So again, that puts him behind the eight ball a little bit. But I'm in constant communications with all players in regards to needing more time or what the next step is. So at this point in time, we need all the bodies we can in here to help us out. It's been a really difficult period, and Ben's done a decent job coming off the bench to make sure that we have those big bodies.
Just finally from me, just wanted to ask you about a few of the men in the pack, because Tom Amone's impact was noted on Saturday, but Owen Trout seemed to have one of his better games in league colours, and Dan Norman certainly carried strong in the first half as well. Are you hoping to see more from those guys now and build on that performance? Yeah,
I think our Leigh fans are pretty clued up on what's happening here and the process that we're involved with, and we've identified these players as future players for us, and they're both reasonably young and both good size, and we've just got to keep backing them through these moments. And it's easy to bring a young player in and play him and he not quite aim up, and then we go, oh, he's not good enough, let's move him on, let's give someone else a go. I'm a coach that would prefer to stick by the player. We've brought those players in because we believe in them and we trust in them, and I've communicated that to those players as well. So by saying that, I've got to give them the opportunity to grow and understand and be a part of who we are with the DNA as a club. And that takes time. So, and that's why the comments I say about, it's real valuable times and minutes that these players are getting on the field that they wouldn't have otherwise. So by getting these minutes now, you watch them grow and develop over this 12 months. And you look at Owen Trout, who is coming back from a knee reconstruction as well, so he hasn't played for 15 months, and so he's coming off the back of that into a team that's looking up to him to try and win us the game. That's not going to happen. So we've just got to keep it realistic and know and support these players. You know, Ben McNamara is the same. You know, even Frankie Holton's coming back from injury from last year that hasn't played a lot of time. Let's stick and back with him. We just need to stay positive through this period. And I know in my heart when we come through it, everyone's going to benefit from it, and more so me as coach and us as a club, and the wins will come.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Hi, Lammy. All right,
Hey, Ben.
man?
Good, mate. You okay?
Yeah, not so bad.
Good.
Just on Ben Nakubuai then, what's the injury problem that he's picked up?
I think it's a tissue, soft tissue as well, mate. I'm not exactly sure what it is because it was only discussed this morning. So it's something that I'll find out later on today in the medical meeting, and then we'll know a little bit more about it as we go.
And I know Matt mentioned the sort of conversations you've had about why so many injuries have been picked up. Has anything been changed in your process from that?
Again, you know, it's just so everyone understands. We've asked this question 1,000 times. We've gone over an independent view of how it's all set up to get to this point. You know, we had a staff member that left right at the beginning of our pre-season, so we went over that Christmas period, leading the Christmas difficult time to employ someone. We went probably 6 weeks without an S&C coach. So if that had any impact on it, I don't know, but I'm sure it's played a little part of it. So, you know, we've currently had communications with everyone, but I know in my heart that the staff that we have here at the moment, both medical and S&C, are as good as I've been involved with in any sport or team ever. They're first class, and we'll get over this. We'll move on from this really, really quickly. We've also got to look at the load that we do as coach. You know, things are pretty similar to what it's always been. So we're just trying to identify if there's anything that's been specific. So we've had a little chat about it, and it's something that we'll just keep in house. But it's you know, we're forever working harder to be better in all areas.
In terms of Matt Moylan, then he's playing him at fullback while Gazzy's out a long-term plan.
Maybe. It's really difficult at the moment to, you know, and this is the other hard part about trying to win games. As much as we're working really hard towards that, we're forever changing positions and players, and it's hard to get any, you know, some rhythm within the group, or, you know, all of a sudden we've got our fullback out, so we've got to push our half back there. So our hooker that's coming off the bench is now playing right. So we've never had the same team for 2 weeks in a row, and that's okay. I'm not complaining about that. I'm not even complaining about the injuries anymore. I'm over it. We've just got to really support the group that we've got here and back them on a week to week basis. So that may change next week. You know, we may have John Asiata back next week, so that'll change the team again. We may have, you know, Briscoe and Evan Apape back the week after. That'll change again. So we've just got to make sure we work really hard on keeping our standards where we think is acceptable as a group, hold each other accountable, and then just do our best every week. And we're doing that, and there is improvement. So, you know, in my heart, I know that we're heading in the right direction. We've just got to find a win along the way, and I know that will come too.
And just lastly then, while these sort of key figures have been out for you, how important and how beneficial has it been for players to step into new roles and maybe different roles than you'd have imagined them in terms of the utility value?
Yeah, it's been invaluable for everybody, including myself. You know, like, I'm enjoying the challenge because it's something that you don't normally have to do as a coach, but I'm being challenged with it as well, and it's difficult at times, and it's the hope that kills you that, you know, all of a sudden one player, we've been getting players go down on captain's run halfway through our last session of the week, and things like that. So there's, you know, it's been a resilient group, and we're sticking together, and we're sticking by each other. But I know that, I keep saying this, the experience that everyone's getting through this process without, you know, the dream team players there has been invaluable for everyone. And I know that once we get that right balance, that we'll win, and we'll start winning quite regularly.
Cheers, pal. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Benny.
Hi, I'm Robin here at Radio Manchester.
Hey, Robin.
I know that, and to sort of get away from things, looking at it from a different opportunity, what about the players who are on that list? How can they help the ones coming in at the moment, and to get the team up to scratch even when they can't impact play themselves?
Yeah, well, we have a buddy system here anyway, where that's been happening, and a lot of the players have been giving feedback, but the players haven't been on field training because there's been, I think most of them have been 8 weeks plus to come back to play. So only this week has there been every single person on the field running, doing some sort of rehab. So it's nice to look over away from your team and see, half the salary cap sitting there on the sideline, at least running, which gives you hope. And that's what I was saying before. It's the hope that kills you at the moment. But it's nice to see them training. And I know there's a really good vibe around training here. I think Matt picked it in one there, saying that even though we haven't been winning, there's been parts of games where we've been really competitive, and we probably could have won maybe, of the 5 we've lost, maybe we could have won 3 or 4 of those too. So it's not that bad, though the results are. And that's what the belief is within the group. So, like I said, it gets harder with Warrington than Catalan, but, I'm feeling confident that one of these points we're going to turn our season around. And we're on day-to-day, week-to-week at the moment. So, but it's nice to see the players out on the field, including the son today, running around. So it just gives everyone that little bit of confidence.
Absolutely, something to smile about. What have your conversations with Derek been like at the moment?
Yeah, Derek's been on a bit of a break through that school period, school holidays recently. So, as an owner, he's always been amongst the thick of it and making sure that things are staying on track, and he wants us to win. We all want to win, you know what I mean? But I think Derek understands the situation we're in, like our fans. Everyone sort of understands it, and accept where we are, and we've just got to just stay positive through this process. It's, in a month's time, in 6 weeks' time, we're going to be looking back going, there wasn't any need to stress through all of that. We're going okay now. So, I want to keep that positive hat on, so to speak, and that's the way we're going to be.
How big can your fans be?
Well, they've been awesome. They've been unbelievable. Even a really difficult away game last week in the Challenge Cup, and losing the Challenge Cup was disappointing, and certainly taken a little piece of me as a coach, and knocked me around a little bit on the weekend, because it's one of those things that we wanted to defend and hold ourselves, because it was such a great moment for the club and for the fans. But the way that our fans have been turning up for our home games, selling out against Wigan, our last home game here, was unbelievable. And we care about them and love them as well, mate. And I think we've got the best fans in Super League. So, we're very grateful of them. They understand our situation. They're right behind us. And again, they'll ride through this with us, and they'll see the good times coming soon as well.
And we know that there's a big reason why the results have been the way they are, but who do you lean on for support as well when the results, like you say at the weekend when you said it really took a piece out of you?
Yeah, I've got good people around me, especially the rugby here. With Chris Chester, who I can lean upon. There's Neil Jukes and Derek Beaumont, the rugby side, which has been unbelievable. They're around the grounds all the time with us. They're at training all the time, and rugby-wise, we're always communicating and making sure we've got that support there.